Hi! Welcome to the show.
Number 2, huh?
Yes.
Well, it gives us something to live for now. It'll be number 1, right?
Right.
Blackie,
Yes, sir.
$500,000 and 1 year to record.
Oh, somebody
Woof.
shortchanged you, bud. Let me tell you something. More like 15 months and $600,000. So it's like I've heard of a day late and a dollar short, but it's $100,000 short at this point. We had to rob our piggy banks to make this one.
Yeah, I thought I'd
Very
wind it up.
big piggy bank. Nice.
Well, why does it take so much money to
Is he
record
kept
albums?
screwing things up?
I never show up in the studio.
Really, it's like, you know, are you kind of, will you please come down today? You know, no.
Well, on your album, you talk about political and world issues. Are you trying to get a point over there, Blackie?
When we finished the circus tour, Inside the Electric Circus tour a couple of years ago, I got to a point where I just didn't have anything to say anymore. You know, either in interviews or even more importantly, musically. We did songs like Animal and Wild Child, Blind Texas. Those are all great songs, but we said that. And once we said that, it's like, okay, if the Beatles did She Loves You, and they said that as best they could, what are you going to do? Keep trying to remanufacture the same songs over and over again? I mean, you end up being a parody of yourself, and a bad parody at that. If you don't change, then you just dry up and wither away. I mean, you have to say something new after a while. And what I was going through was things that had been boiling inside of me for a long time. I mean, my specific viewpoints about, well, the album itself is called The Headless Children. And The Headless Children, if people think, you know, W.A.S.P are running around lopping kids' heads off and things like that, it's nothing like that at all. The Headless Children started out as being an anti-nuclear war song. And then the more and more I watched the news, it started dawning on me that that is what The Headless Children is all about. It's about any insanity that you see anywhere. And these are things that I felt for a long time and just never said anything about it. And the more and more I started talking to fans and viewing my attitudes on things like drugs, which I believe is our single biggest problem that we have, it dawned on me that there are more people out there that think like this than I thought that there were. I just thought it was sex, drugs, rock and roll. That's all they care about. They don't want to know about anything else, and how wrong I really was. And this record is a serious record about serious subject matter, and I would really therefore like it be very much to be taken seriously.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring the point up.
So what about your actual live show, Blackie? Have you tamed that down from...
Well, W.A.S.P will always do a big show. I mean, it wouldn't be W.A.S.P without it, you know. But what we're going to do is, you haven't seen the album cover yet, and maybe we can get one around here somewhere, which you can insert, but we're going to attempt to bring this album cover to life. So to say that we used to do things like the Rack and all that before, what we're trying to get away from is something that's not do anything that's going to detract away from what we're doing musically. This time we let the music do the talking, but we build the visuals into what's around the music instead of having the visuals work against it where it's visual and just, you know, the music becomes a soundtrack to what we're doing visually.
Chris, keyboards on the album, I mean, is it going to be the same W.A.S.P? Is it going to be as hard as usual?
Yeah, I'm going to take a keyboard player out on the road. Ken Hensley played on our album.
Oh, you are right, man.
Yeah, it's real fun to work with the guy in the studio because he's like a pro, like the old John Lord sound, you know. I enjoyed working with him.
How did you come across Ken?
Johnny knew him from St. Louis. He'd played in the Riverboat bands or something like that. Yeah.
More like Riverboat Queen.
There's a
Just
fun
kidding,
guy.
John.
We always wanted to bring keyboards in, and John, his name just came up, you know, because that's that old Leslie sound. And Blackie asked Johnny, he goes, yeah, you know Ken Hensley, call him up. So he called him up and he came out, rehearsed with us. How many tracks did he play on?
Yeah,
Well, he only
7?
rehearsed 2 songs with us initially, but we found that every day, you know, we keep rehearsing, it sounded really good, so pretty soon it ended up where he played on almost the entire
Yeah?
album.
You just took the question away from Des.
Yeah, no. That was my next question. It's a
right?
mind reader.
Well, we don't really need you here.
Yeah, carry on with the show. It's yours.
I'll ask the
We'll take this
questions,
show
eh?
on for you. I've been wanting one, you know. Why do you think I'm here?
You produced your own album. Don't you
Yes.
trust anybody else?
No, we're just greedy. No, it's like, you know, most bands know what they want. They just don't know how to get it from the amplifier through the board onto the tape. And if you have a meager amount of experience, which I think that's how we could be qualified, you get a pretty good idea what you want and how you want to go about doing it. And if you're gonna lose. You know, it's the old telephone game. You know, you lose something in the translation all the time if you don't have the right guy there. You know, and then pretty soon the worm turns into the anaconda, and God, you've got a mess on your hands. You know?
Well, the album is a bit late coming to the MTV and the Bailey Brothers, but I heard there's a ballad, Forever Free. Is that right?
Yes.
What's that about then, Blackie?
Forever Free is unfortunately a true story about someone who is very close to me, who's no longer with us, and really, in all honesty, the song has no business being on the album because it's not as heavy or as aggressive as the rest of the album. This is the most aggressive European-sounding record we've ever done. I mean, it sounds in a lot of ways unlike anything we've ever done. But this song, like I said, is in some ways schizophrenic and doesn't really coincide with everything else that's going on, but it's something that I felt. And I've learned in the last few years you don't deny the feelings that you have inside of you, because I think I did that for too long. Somebody was asking me the other day, they said, describe yourself in one word, and I said, misunderstood, because people would see the image, and most people, because they never got a chance to talk to me, just assumed, you know, that the image was, you know, preceding everything before I ever walked into a room, and they thought I was going to lean over and start chewing on their nose or something. And I thought, well, it's time, because we've done all that, we've said all that, it's time to give them a little more insight as to what's really going on here.
That's a nice subject to carry on. I think we'll have a look at a video, Mick, and then get back to some serious talking. Serious talking on the show today, folks.
That's right. Blind in Texas. Fancy this one?
If you do.
Right.
Why not? Blind in Texas.
This
We're
is
back.
Wops. Check it out.